Good afternoon. Nice seeing you guys again. Thanks for having me. Of course, glad to be here always. Right now, our guys are out practicing hard. Well, not right now. We're just having some good practice this week, flying around, trying to get ready for another big-time SEC football game in SEC country. With that being said, any questions?
Clayton, after cutting up the MSU tape, the defensive backs obviously had a tough day. How did you guys approach it? Did you consider it one bad night? Did you see something fundamental that has to be addressed this week? And what's your main area of focus this week?
Well, first and foremost, obviously when things like that happen at a game, it kind of got out of hand from a passing game, and definitely not just one group. Definitely, it starts with me first and foremost. Got to make sure that we are getting our guys in better position to perform. But obviously you can't look at that kind of performance and just put it on the rug and say that was one bad night. Obviously something that we weren't doing correctly on the deep throws, and obviously working at it, trying to get better.
You mentioned putting guys in the right position. When it comes to Tennessee and the tempo, I know, personnel is a big talk in college football right now. Does it change the way you maybe call plays or look at a string knowing you just won't have as much time to sub this week as you do in other weeks?
Yeah, you definitely will not have time to sub unless they sub. So that's definitely out the window. And we have to practice that way. And obviously, you don't have your call sheet not as big against a team like Tennessee, and when they're going at that pace, because you're not going to have time to communicate all the way across the board. You have to play smart, coach smart. And our guys understand it. It's their third year in a row going against the offense.
I would assume when you all were preparing last week, you were expecting them to run more than they did and maybe not pass as much. But were there any surprises in terms of what they ran through the air and things like that? Or
unfortunately, it wasn't. Our goal is always to go in there first and make sure we try to make a team one-dimensional. And, we did that, and so that kind of helped us win the game. And they passed it, got an interception, they passed it, we got a turnover, so because they weren't able to run it. So, unfortunately, the yards got out of control with it, but we knew once we stopped the run, they had to open it up a little bit.
And I think Coach Beamer referred to a couple of the big gains, like maybe a guy wasn't lined up, or maybe there was somebody who was supposed to help out in coverage that didn't. How easily can those things be corrected, in the moment throughout the course of a game when you're seeing, things like that kind of pop up?
It's all about coaching on the sideline. And, like I said, we I'm proud of the players because it was ugly at halftime, and so they still have to go back out there as men and stand tall, chest up, chin up, eyes up, and finish that football game because they're the ones that's called upon. So I'm proud of them in that way that they finished the game and we fixed them. They tried those same plays about 3 or 4 more times, and we covered them. And that's what the sack fumble that stretch got. It was the same exact play, and it was double teamed the way it should have been.
Clayton, I'm sure you're proud of the way the guys up front played on the defensive line, 9 tackles for a loss, especially with what Boogie was able to do. But looking at Jordan Strachan in particular, knowing everything that he's gone through for the past year and for him to continue to come along, what have you seen over the last couple weeks? Because we talk about that mental hurdle sometimes when you're coming back from an injury. Do you feel like he's starting, other than just last night, did you notice over the last couple weeks him getting over that hurdle?
Yes, it's a process. Like everything we do in this program is a process, and I think that Strachan is respecting the process like a pro, and he's definitely coming along and getting better and each week he's moving better. His conditioning, just taking a year off the sport is hard to do, and definitely proud of how he's doing right now. Him and Coach Lucas and those edge guys by committee are giving us some production, which we need.
Hey, how you doing?
Great.
So Tennessee's offense can be very explosive. Does practicing versus Spencer, does that help y'all kind of prepare for what you're going to see on Saturday?
Well, we only get a few reps during the season against Spencer. I had enough of him in the fall camp, trust me. Like I said, you guys see it now. I know y'all heard about us in the summer during training camp, the kind of summer he was having. It definitely helps. The speed of his ball. Lenoris throws a fastball, so obviously we're going against a fast throw. I bought a high velocity football this weekend, and so that does help. The ball travels faster than the man, so we got to be in the right spot because it's going to be there before you know it.
I know with some of the coverages, DQ wasn't responsible for everything, but it seemed like he was right there for a lot of the big passes, or had some sort of responsibility in that coverage. When a guy is having a rough game like that, how do you approach him, and how have you seen him kind of bounce back this week?
Well, we always talk team defense. I'm not going to blame it all on one player by far, but all of us in that room, in that defensive side of the ball, we definitely know that the full body of work right now is not what we want, and we know we all need to improve. But our guys are fighting, they're practicing, they're looking each other in the eyes. There's no finger pointing. if you have that kind of culture, you can always fix things in the middle of a game without guys sitting on the other end of the bench, and then you end up losing that football game. A bad culture team would have lost that football game because of what was going on individually and as a group and as a defense. But our culture brought us together, starting with Coach Beamer, our seniors, our leadership. That game would have easily got lost, but those guys are great character guys, and they was able to stand tall.
With Judge kind of having to step into a bigger role the last couple of weeks, just what sort of improvement have you seen from him in those in-game reps, and what do you sort of want to see continue to improve?
He's improving. The one taking the coaching from Coach Gray, getting used to that one, which I think that's always a big step, and just understanding how to get coached at this level. Watching him just go out there and use technique on plays. For majority of his technique has been correct. Haven't had a lot of balls thrown his way, far as you get a chance to see his length and his speed, but we're watching him every day get better, his details, his focus, and he's kind of a pro, meaning, he's going to be where he's supposed to be for the most part and do the right things and stay off a list, and he's a great kid.
Clayton, this Tennessee offense is kind of predicated on DBs having their eyes in the wrong spots a lot of times. How concerned with so much youth in the secondary are you with trying to get these guys lined up and get their eyes in the right spot so it's not a 50-yard touchdown?
Yep. A lot of things can concern you, but I think I think our guys are, things are happening in the games, and you learn faster that way when things happen. So I truly believe that, some mistakes and some success that we've had in the past in the defensive back room, we can use that as great examples, what to do and what not to do.
You finally got to get JT Gear on the field last week. What did you see from him, and what can he bring to this defense? More snaps he gets to play as he gets healthier?
Yep. As he gets healthier, he definitely brings a presence. His presence was felt when I think his first 5 plays, he batted the ball down. We had the guy covered, and he batted it down. But those plays are demoralizing for an offense when you think you have something, and all of a sudden it's an incomplete pass. So excited about JT. He brings a lot. He's got good size, speed, strength, and football IQ, which we need at that position, and he's young.
I think it was this Tennessee game last year where Peyton Williams came in and had a nice performance, but I don't think he was active this past week. Haven't seen him yet. I don't believe this year. How's he progressing? Is he healthy and able to go through things, or where is he at now?
Yeah, he had something happen this spring to where he's battling back from, and he's day to day. Hopefully we get him back here soon. He's definitely a good kid that we definitely want to get back.
Seems like the front 7 have been a little bit more disruptive through the last 2 weeks than they were maybe through the first 2. What have you seen from that group, especially on the defensive line of late, and what's maybe next for that group as they continue to improve?
Yep, the next thing for that group, to me, first, what I've just seen guys work. Guys come to work, they meet, they do extra stuff, and they stay after practice, and they are, they're attentive, they meet with the linebackers, just all the extra little things that, that can help you on a Saturday night or whenever you're playing. The next step for those guys is just being consistent, be every day. It's a long football season, especially here in the SEC. I think that those guys, if they just continue doing what they're doing, just only more success will come. And we always say, one shine, we all shine. So we are very proud that we had 2 defensive linemen of the week in the SEC. So to us, we say, one shine, we all shine.
Now, you all talked about trying to get Pup and Bam more involved just to help with the rotation a little bit, or create a rotation. What have you seen from those guys, especially last week, since they played a lot more than?
Yep, they played a lot more. I thought it was just, the more they play, the better they're going to be, and it helps us. In the fourth quarter, Stone got the nice force, and I think it was the fourth quarter, third or fourth quarter. He was more fresh because we were able to put more guys in to relieve some of that. He's on punt team as well. And I think Debo was on kickoff, so that helps a lot. But what I'm seeing them improve at is just the day-to-day stuff. And they're the big-time athletes, really good football players. They love football. They come here every single day. They in here on time. They're asking the right questions. They're doing the right things. It's just you got to keep stacking those days, and then all pay off in the end.
Can you talk about Joe Milton? He's a 6'5" quarterback that's big, that can run and throw. What kind of challenges does that face for a guy that can throw the ball 50, 60 yards?
I can throw it 50. No, I'm just kidding. He's 70, 80, bro. So like I said, I've been around a lot of quarterbacks. As far as arm strength, I don't think I've seen anybody who can throw the ball on tape farther than him. So that's a challenge. One, he's big, he can run. Obviously, he had an 81-yard run last week against UTSA. Is that correct? UTSA. watched a lot of tape, so it all comes together. So 81-yard touchdown run against them. So that combination right there is lethal. I think that obviously he's a quarterback who I remember seeing him in 21 to warm up. So he warms up and throws the balls from the 50 to the end zone, through the end zone, just to intimidate us. But he has a strong arm, and he's definitely a talented man. And appreciate it. Thank you. See y'all next time.